What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another FPL video on the channel. And in today's one, we're going to be looking at my Game Week 23 transfer plans. But of course, before we do get into that, let's have a quick review of how we've performed so far in Game Week 22. And as you guys can see, we currently have 47 points with Cole Palmer still to play. Unfortunately, I switched my captain from Cole Palmer to Mohamed Salah, and that has backfired massively. So I am really hoping Cole Palmer does blank in this fixture against Wolves, because if he does well, that's going to hurt my rank even more. But as you guys can see, currently as things stand, I'm on a small green arrow up to 732k, which I'm pretty happy with. I just need Cole Palmer to blank in this fixture against Wolves. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens with that. But yeah, overall, it was a pretty mediocre week, a pretty average week from my team. So yeah, look, we're not going to waste too much time speaking on Game Week 22 though. So look, with that being said, let's have a look at my Game Week 23 transfer plans. Alright guys, so as you can see on your screens right now, these are the two players I am most likely considering for Game Week 23. Of course, it is Alisson and Konate, as Liverpool do have a double game week coming up in Game Week 24. My targets are Liverpool players. Now, of course, I've got no Gakpo, no Diaz, no Jota, no Darwin Núñez here on my transfer targets, and that's because I am looking to bring in another Liverpool defender as opposed to another Liverpool attacker to partner up with Mohamed Salah. For me, I just prefer the security in minutes that the defenders like Alisson and Konate will give you as opposed to what the forwards give you, right? I feel like there is a chance that Gakpo, Jota, Diaz, whoever it is, right, could be rotated. There could be some early substitutions. So for that reason, I'm just going to play it safe and go with either Alisson or Konate. Look, I think, to be fair, right, I do want to point out, yes, Gakpo's minutes have been quite good recently, right? I'm not going to deny that. I think he's got some good minutes. You know, he got 90 against Leicester, 57 minutes against West Ham, 85 against United, 90 against Forest, 86 against Brentford. So the minutes have been pretty decent for Cody Gakpo. But another reason why I don't want to really go for someone like Gakpo is just because I'm happy with my team. I'm happy with the forwards I've already got. I think they've all got good fixtures. You look at Isak, Mateta and Wissa. I don't want to take out any of these players. All players here have good fixtures. Really happy with Wissa. He's done so well for me since I've put him in. Really happy with Mateta. Again, he's done so well for me since I've put him in. Good fixtures coming up for Crystal Palace. And of course, Isak is Isak. He's the man in form. Even though he blanked in the last game against Bournemouth, I'm more than happy to keep Alexander Isak. And I don't really want to take him out for another at least 2 games, to be honest with you, right? Because the next 2, Southampton and Fulham. So for me, I look at my forwards. I'm very happy with them. I look at my midfielders. I'm very happy with them. And that's the reason why I don't want to go for someone like Diaz or Jota. And then I look at my defenders, and I feel like that's where the biggest issue lies with my team. So why not bring in another Liverpool defender like Alisson or Konate? So look, for me, I do think Gakpo could be a good option. Right, I'm not going to deny it. I do think he could be a good option for the double game week, but as I said, I just prefer the defense for my team personally. So, and of course, right, there is obviously Everton players as well who do have a double game week, but guys, I'm not going to lie, I'm not looking at Everton players at all for this double game week, right? I've already got Mikalenko in my squad, and I think that's enough. I'm not looking to bring in another Everton player. For me, I don't really look at this as a double game week, right? For Everton, I think Everton are so poor, and yes, they've got Leicester, that's great, but after that, it's Liverpool. And I look at, to me, Everton don't even have a double game week, right? I only think Everton players are going to just get you the extra appearance points for this double. I don't actually think they're going to get you, you know, extra clean sheet points, extra goals or assists. Like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, not even looking at. No, there's just no chance I'm going to put in an Everton attacker like Calvert-Lewin or Ndiaye. There's no chance I'm going to bring in a second Everton defender, because even though they've got this double game week, Liverpool at home is just so tricky, and the Everton attack is poor, and defensively, I just think against Liverpool, they're going to concede anyway, right? So for me, I think having Mikalenko is enough. I don't think I'll be looking to get in another Everton player, if I'm being honest. And to be honest with you guys, the fixtures around this double game week, they're not great either, right? It's Palace away, Man United at home, Brentford away, Brighton away, Spurs at home. So yeah, it's not really great from a fixtures point of view for Everton. So for me, I won't be looking to buy another Everton player. I won't be looking to buy you know, the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Dow or anything like that. So yeah, that's sort of my plan. But with that being said, I guess the big question is, who do we go for, Alisson or Konate? And it is a pretty tough decision. Of course, if I was to go for Alisson, right, it would mean taking out David Raya. But do I want to do that? I'm actually not too sure. I was pretty set on taking out David Raya. I mean, Arsenal defensively have been so poor, and this double Arsenal defense has been costing me week in, week out, as they're just not getting clean sheets, right? It's only one clean sheet in the last 6 Premier League games for Arsenal, so it has been very, very poor. However, I do look at sort of the next 4 to 5 games, and I do think there are some decent fixtures in this run, right, for Arsenal to get some clean sheets. Starting off with Wolves away, I don't think it's too bad for a clean sheet. Of course, Man City at home is going to be tough, but then Leicester away, West Ham away, maybe even Forest away as well. Though these games I do look at as some decent fixtures for Arsenal and a good potential for some clean sheet points here. So I am having second thoughts on taking out David Raya, and potentially I could be sticking with this double Arsenal defense. That could come back to haunt me though. So I am split 50-50 at the moment. The other option, of course, would be to bring in Konate, and I would probably be taking out Robinson, and that's because I actually look at this fixture on here for Fulham. It is pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie, it really is. I think United at home, I think we can score. I just don't think there's many clean sheet games in here, right? Brighton away, Wolves away, Palace at home, potentially. Nottingham Forest at home, I doubt they get a clean sheet. Newcastle away, definitely not going to get a clean sheet there. I think Man United score as well. So I look at these games, and in a lot of these games, I think Fulham concede. Now, of course, Robinson does have that attacking threat. He does have that assist potential, and that's what makes him so good. So yes, maybe in some of these games he won't get a clean sheet, but he's always got the chance of some attacking returns. I'm pretty sure he's got the most attacking returns for a defender this season in the Premier League. Definitely, he's certainly got the most assists. So yeah, that is it's a hard one. It is a hard one, but I feel like I'm split with this decision. Possibly more in favour of bringing in Konate, because I do see some clean sheets in this fixture run for Arsenal, right? I really do. So look, it's a decision that I'm going to have to make this week, because I do want to make the transfer this week, as I think Ipswich at home for Liverpool is a fantastic entry point. So I have to make this decision this week. But look, we'll have to wait and see what I do. But look, with that being said, guys, I also do want to take you guys through my future transfer plans with this team, and sort of what lane, what road am I heading towards, right? Because yeah, we do have some things to discuss, and there are some other players that I am planning to bring in future game weeks. So yeah, let's go ahead and have a look at what my future plans are with this team. Alright guys, so we currently are on planfpl.com, and we're going to have a look at my future transfer plans with my team and sort of what I'm working towards. Now, this is how the team looks for game week 23. It looks pretty decent, it looks pretty good in my opinion, but let's just assume that we do take out Robinson and we do bring in Konate for game week 23. This is how the team would look if I was to go through with the Konate transfer, and honestly, I'm actually really happy with it. I think it looks pretty solid. We got triple Liverpool against Ipswich, double Arsenal, and just overall solid team in my opinion. I am probably going to bench Ahmad, but that could change. But regardless, the main thing is that we are bringing in Konate for game week 23. So let's have a look at sort of what we're going to do in game week 24. Now, I'd probably bring in Mikalenko to start for Gabriel. I'd be benching Gabriel against Man City. And I would probably be benching Mateta as well and starting Amad Diallo. And that's how the team would shape up for game week 24. But the big question is though, guys, I've still got my triple captain left. So do I use it in game week 24 on Mohamed Salah? Do I use the triple captainship on Mohamed Salah for game week 24? I'm still undecided. Bournemouth away, Everton away. It's not bad, but it's not the best double in my opinion. I think we could get better double game weeks, and I will say this, right? If Liverpool do beat Tottenham in that second leg of the Carabao Cup and they go through to the final, which is a pretty decent chance, then they're obviously going to be blanking in game week 29, which would mean they would have a double in, I think, game week 33. Now, if that does happen and Liverpool beat Spurs in the second leg and have a double in game week 33 against Leicester away and Aston Villa away, I would prefer triple captain in Salah in that week as opposed to doing it now in game week 24. So for that reason, I am still a bit unsure. I'm still a bit unsure on whether or not I want to use that triple captainship on Mohamed Salah. But for now, nonetheless, I'm probably going to be rolling the transfer, and that's how the team would look in game week 24. As I said, the only question is, do I triple captain Mo Salah that week? We'll have to wait and see. But for now, moving on to game week 25. I do have the option of rolling the transfer. So look, first things first, let's sort out the starting 11. We'd bring in Gabriel back into the starting 11 against Leicester away. We'd have the double Liverpool defence against Wolves at home, not too bad. And then we'd have Gordon, Palmer, Salah, Rodgers, Ahmad in midfield. Now, I do want to bring Jean-Philippe Mateta back into the starting 11, right? So I think I'd be benching Gordon. And that's how my team would look for Gameweek 25, which honestly isn't too bad. However, I might actually, there is a chance, right? There's one or two things I could do. Number one, I could take out Alexander Isak and bring in Nicholas Jackson. And I do like him as a pick a lot because I think from game week 25 onwards, right? Brighton away is a good fixture for an attacker. Villa away is a great fixture for an attacker, in my opinion. And then Southampton and Leicester at home. Those 4 games I like a lot, and I kind of want to. I see it as an opportunity to sort of go to go against Alexander Isak, who's got quite difficult fixtures and a blank game week in 29, right? Assuming that Newcastle go through the Carabao Cup, which is looking like it most likely will happen, right? So assuming Newcastle do blank in game week 29, they've got Man City away in 25, Forest at home in 26, Liverpool away in 27, and then West Ham away in 28 before blanking in 29. I think this week here, getting game week 25 is a good sort of week to go against and sort of jump off Alexander Isak or Gordon. So one of my options is taking out Isak and going to Nicholas Jackson, like I said, because I really do like those fixtures that Chelsea do have. But another option is keeping Isak, but taking out Gordon and doubling up on the Brentford attack and going for a Brian Mbeumo and then benching Alexander Isak. So I could do one of those 2 transfers. I'm not sure what I'll do, right? Time will tell. But yeah, that is sort of my options. I think at the moment I could possibly slightly be leaning towards Nicholas Jackson because I really am a big fan of those fixtures, and I wouldn't mind doubling up on Chelsea. So let's just say we go through with that. That's how my team would look for Game Week 25, and I do like it on paper. It looks pretty decent. So yeah, moving on to Game Week 26 now. I think this is where I would bring in Brian Mbeumo, in all honesty. I know Gordon's got Nottingham Forest at home, but again, I just think Leicester away is it's just a much better fixture. And I think Brian Mbeumo has shown that he is a massive flat track bully, and against the weaker relegation sides, he really does deliver. So I would be taking out Gordon, right? I know rolling transfers is nice, but I think I've got enough transfers, and I really do want to attack the good fixtures that players do have. So yeah, taking out Gordon for Mbeumo is what I would plan to do, and then I'd be benching Morgan Rodgers, who's got Chelsea. I think I'd bring Mazraoui into the starting 11 as well against Everton away, who's got a poor attack. And again, that's sort of how my team would be looking for game week 26, and honestly, I don't mind it. I think it looks pretty decent. And in all honesty, I'm relatively happy with the way my team is looking. Something I could do again is actually taking out Morgan Rodgers. You know, I could actually take out Morgan Rodgers at this point because he's got Chelsea, then Palace, then Brentford, then a possible blank game week in 29, or a game against Liverpool if it does go ahead. So you could argue taking out Morgan Rodgers could be the play. And if I was to do that, it would be for someone like Semenyo, like a Bournemouth attacker, because they have good fixtures from game week 26 onwards. You know, they got Wolves, Brighton, Spurs, Brentford, Ipswich, West Ham. So some good fixtures there. But for now, let's just say we do that and we leave the team like that. I'm really happy with it, to be fair. And then we do have game week 27, where I would most likely be rolling. Yeah, game week 27, I think I'll be rolling, man. I think the team looks pretty decent. The defense is okay. I don't mind it. I've got the option to start Konate or Gabriel, the midfield 4. I'm happy with the front 3. I'm more than happy with. So yeah, again, I think the team looks pretty decent, if I'm being honest. And yeah, again, I'm happy to bench Morgan Rodgers playing against Crystal Palace and start Mateta against Aston Villa, so I can roll again. Potentially even starting Fabianski ahead of David Raya. That could genuinely be an option. And then yeah, in game week 28, again, I'd probably I think I would roll the transfer again. I mean, we'd have double Liverpool defence against Southampton at home, double Arsenal defence against Manchester United, potentially getting rid of one of those defenders. These Arsenal defenders could be a play. But the midfield, I'm okay with. I think Rodgers against Brentford is fine. So I'm happy with benching Ahmad, starting Rodgers. That's okay. I'm happy with Jackson, happy with Mateta, and I'm happy with Wilson and Mbeumo. So yeah, in all honesty, the team looks pretty decent. I think if I was to make a transfer, it would be a defensive one to change one of my defenders. I don't think I'd want to take up Mazraoui because in Game Week 29, when a few teams will be blanking, he's got Leicester. So yeah, Mazraoui's playing against Leicester in Game Week 29, so I wouldn't want to take him out. Potentially, I take out Mykolenko and replace him with someone. I'm not really too sure who I would replace him with at the moment. Maybe a Chelsea defender. I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure at the moment. But look, guys, I could go on, right? I could go on, but I don't want to waffle on for too long. But at the moment, that's what I'm thinking, right? I think, yeah, those are the transfers that I've got in mind. They're sort of my transfer targets. So, you know, another Liverpool defender, Jackson, Mbeumo, these are the players that I'm looking at. So, yeah, they're sort of my thoughts and feelings on sort of what I want to do in my transfers moving forward. But that is going to be it for today's transfer plans video. Let me know what you guys do think of that in the comments below. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Yeah, if you did, make sure you do smash a big thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tick that turn on post notifications as well if you haven't already, so you never miss a time I post a video or go live for a deadline stream or a watch along. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I will catch you in the next video. But until then, I'm out. Peace.